Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another brand new video. I hope you guys are all doing well. So in today's video, we actually have a fair few things to talk about for Bitcoin. Okay, so I want to get straight into that. But you guys can clearly see Bitcoin is still holding up very well at $30,000. As I'm from this video, it's coming at 30,700, and literally just yesterday, in fact, a couple of hours ago, actually, right, we actually saw Bitcoin pump back up to $31,000. It actually just touched 31K. Okay, and there could be a reason for that. Okay, and I'm gonna get into it. But you guys can clearly see, yes, we actually saw Bitcoin, okay, touch $31,000, and of course, okay, it obviously had a little retest back down to the downside. Okay, and now you guys can clearly see Bitcoin looks like it is in fact slowly pushing back up to $31,000. So Bitcoin right now is obviously doing so much better than where it was yesterday. So it's looking pretty good for Bitcoin, right? Yesterday, Bitcoin, we saw it around, 30,400. So yes, today it is looking, pretty good. Okay, a bit more better than yesterday, right? And there could be a reason, guys. Okay, like I said, there could be a reason why we actually saw Bitcoin have this sudden movement, right? And it's because of this, pretty much, Vanguard. Right now, Vanguard, guys, is the second largest asset manager company in the world, right? Just behind BlackRock. We know BlackRock is obviously the largest one, and then right behind it is Vanguard. And Vanguard actually yesterday did something absolutely amazing. They invested into Bitcoin mining, right? So, this is looking, pretty good, right, for Bitcoin. All these institutions, okay, are in fact coming into, Bitcoin, and not just Bitcoin, but I feel like in general, the crypto space, which is absolutely amazing to see. We know, like over a month ago, we saw BlackRock filing for spot Bitcoin ETFs, right? And we know Fidelity is coming. We know JP Morgan, Invesco, right? All these other institutions are in fact coming into Bitcoin, and not just that, but cryptocurrency in general, right? And I really do believe it will potentially get approved by the SEC. Now, I just want to say something, but you guys probably don't even know this, that BlackRock, right? They have approved for a lot of things. You know what I mean? They've only got rejected once, I think back in 2014, which was a while ago. So there is in fact a very high chance that for BlackRock filing for Bitcoin ETFs will get approved by the SEC, right? So I think it has some potential to get approved. Okay, BlackRock has in fact been approved many times, like I said, okay, in the past, right? So I don't see why the SEC will not approve this. You know what I mean? So we will see, guys. But yes, Vanguard today, okay, is in fact making investments into Bitcoin mining, right? I think it's in a Bitcoin stock. Okay, so this is absolutely amazing to see, guys, and that's why I think we actually are in fact seeing Bitcoin have a slight pump, guys, right? So you guys can clearly see Bitcoin is still holding up very strong today. Okay, it really is. Okay, still above $30,000. We haven't actually seen Bitcoin drop back down below 30K, so we are in fact seeing a very strong support level right now for Bitcoin, which is absolutely amazing to see. And of course, guys, in today's video, I want to show you guys a fair few charts indicating that in the next upcoming few months, and of course few years, of course I'm talking next year in 2024 and 2025, we will see Bitcoin pump some more. Okay, so that's exactly what I want to do for today's video. So that's Bitcoin. Now for the entire cryptocurrency market today, doing so much better than yesterday, even though yet there's still not much movements, right? You guys can clearly see the global crypto market cap currently is at 1.19 trillion, and overall today the market's up 0.33%. So you guys can clearly see for the past 24 hours, not much movements, right? For majority of these altcoins actually at all, not much movements, but we are in fact seeing some movements for some altcoin specific ones like Aave up 6.7%. Aave today is absolutely pumping compared to these other ones. You guys can see Theta Network 4%, right? So that's that, guys. You guys can see Axie Infinity 2.8%. But on that, right, a fair few altcoins for the past 24 hours are not really moving. And Polkadot today is actually having a slight bounce as well, 2% today. So that's great to see. But overall, Bitcoin, Ethereum, right, the top ones are not really moving at all, but they are in fact still holding up very strongly. Now let's get into these charts, starting off with this one, Okay, now I've been showing you guys these charts many times, but these aren't fact, obviously new charts. I'm not showing you guys, the same charts, but still, people are in fact predicting $38,000 for Bitcoin is coming. We know we are in fact in July, and I've told you guys many times that July is usually a great month for Bitcoin. Usually Bitcoin does perform pretty well for the month of July. We saw that last year. We saw that, the year before that, right? In 2021, even in 2020, we saw a pretty decent month for July, right? And I'm gonna give you guys a little update on the Bitcoin monthly returns. But yeah, $38,000 for this month. I don't think that's going to happen. Maybe, in August or September, that's very, very possible for Bitcoin. But this month in July, I really want to see Bitcoin at least break out of $31,000, right? I want to see this month for Bitcoin reach a new high. So I want to see Bitcoin reach at least 32, 33, 34, maybe even 35K this month alone in July. We are still early into this month. We're not even halfway through this month, so we're still early. So time will tell, we will see. So seems like $35,000 is obviously not the only price target that people are in fact predicting. Okay, the next one is obviously $47,000. Now that is very possible, but I think we'll see a 47K for Bitcoin, more towards the end of this year. So in the next few months, yes, it's very, very possible. For this month or even next month, I don't think it's possible, right, to see a 47K Bitcoin, but time will tell. We will see. And I told you guys many times, bro. I mentioned this many times that personally, I do in fact see a 50K Bitcoin. We're going to end off this year with a 50K Bitcoin. So personally, my personal price prediction for Bitcoin this year alone in 2023 is around $50,000 to, or maybe over $50,000. I've been mentioning that many, many times. So time will tell, right? But it's very, very possible. I think that's a very realistic price target. But yes, these price targets can happen for Bitcoin this year, 35K and 47K. Very, very possible and very realistic, 100%. So it's looking pretty good. Now, here's another structure, okay, for Bitcoin. And, we know Bitcoin likes to repeat itself. And, the structure for Bitcoin hasn't changed. These patterns, right, these movements for Bitcoin hasn't changed at all, right? So we know we have two different cycles, a bear market and a bull market, right? And you guys can clearly see we were in fact in a bear market. I think we are still in a bear market right now. But guess what, guys? This bear market will end soon because, so far what we have been seeing for Bitcoin, especially, this year alone in 2023, these past few months, these past like over 6 months, right, for Bitcoin, we have in fact been seeing a very, very, very slow recovery. We actually haven't seen the parabolic movement yet, the parabolic run. And once we do, which will happen, I really do believe, towards the end of 2024 to early 2025 and all of 2025, right? That's when Bitcoin's going to really move, guys. Right now, if you think Bitcoin is in fact having this parabolic run, you're wrong, right? We are in fact just seeing a slow recovery. The halving actually hasn't even happened yet. And we know every single time we have the Bitcoin halving, that's where Bitcoin tends to pump the most. Okay, and that's when it always tends to reach a new all-time high, just has a massive bull run, guys, right? And it's not just going to be Bitcoin pumping, it's going to be altcoins as well. Altcoins, right? Alt season is in fact coming up. We all know that. I've been mentioning that many times, and we all know it's coming up. So for all my altcoin holders out there, be excited for that, because yes, majority of these altcoins in the market that we are in fact seeing right now will pump. Okay, majority of them, yes, could potentially reach back up to its previous highs, and of course reach on your all-time high, but not all of them will do that. Okay, so just keep that in mind, guys, right? Just keep that in mind. But yes, a parabolic run is in fact about to happen for Bitcoin, so be excited for that for all my Bitcoin holders out there that's watching this video right now. So here's another chart. Okay, and it seems like every time we have this crossed, it's a MA50 crosses MA200. It's looking pretty bullish, right? It seems like every single time we have this cross, Bitcoin does in fact have a massive movement up to the upside. And that's exactly what we are in fact seeing right now for Bitcoin. Okay, so that means, guys, it's all up from here. So for all the people that think, we're going to see Bitcoin drop back down to like $20,000 or below $20,000, think again, right? It's just crazy to me how people actually think we're going to see Bitcoin drop back down to like, I don't know, $23,000, $20,000 or below 20K again. Right? It's impossible, especially during this time. We know the halving is obviously right around the corner. It's not the time right now for Bitcoin to drop, right? So if you missed that opportunity on buying Bitcoin below $20,000, then you missed it, right? I remember, guys, a couple months ago, I was making videos, obviously, talking about you guys should buy now when Bitcoin was, in fact, below, 20K. When Bitcoin was at 15K, 16K, 17K, 18K, 19K, I told you guys to buy, right? And guess what, guys? Personally, right, if you guys have, in fact, been watching my videos, I actually showed you guys that I was actually buying at that time as much as I possibly could below 20K. Even though right now, yes, Bitcoin's coming at 30K, still holding strong at $30,000. Right now, it's still a great buy zone for Bitcoin. I've been telling you guys that many times. If you look at the chart, Bitcoin is nowhere near its previous all-time highs, right? Not even halfway there yet. So if you really think about it, we're still in a great buy zone for Bitcoin. Okay, and I told you guys many times, if you're investing in Bitcoin for long term, okay, it's great to buy Bitcoin below 100K. Personally, that's just my personal prediction, right? Bitcoin is still below 100K. Okay, we know in the next bull market, Bitcoin will easily, reach back up to its previous highs and, of course, reach on your all-time high. So we're still in the buy zone, guys, right now at $30,000. I've been telling you that many times. And you guys actually saw a couple of days ago, right, like 2 days ago, I bought some Bitcoin, right? I did. So I might actually go ahead and buy some more as well. Maybe today or maybe tomorrow you guys will see it because I'll obviously make a video of me buying Bitcoin. But that's that. But you guys can clearly see the dominant here. So we obviously know we are in fact seeing these red dominants all of last year in 2022. And we are in fact starting to see a green dominant, which means, guys, this green dominant will continue. Just like what it did for the rest of the year, right? For the rest of the past few years, right, when we're in fact entering the next bull market, right, every single time we have the red dominance, it always enters into the green dominance, right? You guys can clearly see that it's like clockwork. It's the same cycle every single time in Bitcoin history. So right now, obviously, we're in fact seeing a green dominant starting. So all my Bitcoin holders out there, get ready for a massive movement up to the upside for Bitcoin because it's going to be massive, more massive than these other bull runs that we have in fact been seeing throughout the years, right, throughout history. This one's going to be completely different in my opinion. Okay, we're going to see Bitcoin really, really pump, right? So here's another more in-depth chart of what we could potentially be seeing for Bitcoin, okay, very, very soon. Of course, next year in 2024 and of course 2025, okay. We're going to see Bitcoin easily reach back up to its previous highs. Okay, it's going to reach a new all-time high, right, very, very shortly. And you guys can clearly see, right, this pattern is very, very clear that Bitcoin, it's all ups from here. Okay, you guys can clearly see that, right? We saw a massive falling wedge all of 2022. And I told you guys many times, if you survived that year in 2022, you can literally survive anything. Guess what, guys? The bear market is pretty much over, right? I wouldn't say we are, in fact, 100% in a bull market just yet, but this is we are in fact, in the early stages of the next bull market, right? What we're seeing right now, you guys can clearly see that, right? So you guys can clearly see we had this massive falling wedge, okay, and we hit bottom, which was around $15,000. Okay, you guys can clearly see that. And Bitcoin is obviously, we know, okay, at the beginning of this year in 2023, early of January this year, we saw Bitcoin pump. And this is in fact some slow recovery. So Bitcoin is obviously slowly recovering back up to the upside. Okay, so it's all ups from here, guys. Okay, it really, really is. You guys can just clearly see that by this chart, right? It's all ups from here. Okay, Bitcoin is obviously breaking out from this falling wedge and breaking out from its bottom. Okay, so a new pattern is in fact forming up to the upside, and that's exactly what we will in fact be seeing in the next few months and of course a few years in 2024 and 2025. So it's looking pretty good for Bitcoin, right? It really, really is. Now this is the last chart that I want to show you guys, right? So you guys can clearly see this chart, okay? Bitcoin is obviously going to reach back up to its previous highs and of course reach on your all-time high. Okay, it's just going to happen, right? In the next upcoming few months and of course especially next year in 2024, okay, we're going to see Bitcoin reach back up to its previous highs and of course reach a new high. And we know the halving is literally right around the corner. It's going to happen around April. So April next year in 2024, right, once the halving actually happens, we are not going to see Bitcoin pump straight away, right? But just give it a few weeks, give it a few months, and then we will in fact see Bitcoin pump. And that's why I always tell you guys, towards the end of 2024, that's when you should really keep your eye on Bitcoin, because I think that's when everything's just gonna pump like crazy. What happened in late 2020 to early 2021, right? It's pretty much gonna happen. the same way for 2024 and 2025, right? So be excited for that, guys. Be excited for that. Some exciting times are in fact happening for Bitcoin, not just Bitcoin, but cryptocurrency in general. So if you guys want to make that money with Bitcoin and crypto, you better take advantage now with these prices. And if you look at these prices for majority of these altcoins, they are still cheap. I've been telling you that many times, right? They are nowhere near its previous all-time highs, right? And I told you guys many times, alt season is about to happen. Majority of these altcoins will pump back up to previous highs. Okay, not all of them, but majority of them. Okay, and you will easily 10x your money, double your money for sure. Okay, so not financial advice, just my personal opinion. That's why I really do believe, right, it makes sense, why people are in fact investing more into altcoins than Bitcoin, because the Bitcoin price is just too high for them. It's understandable, and a lot of people are in fact investing to like low cap coins, so it's understandable, what I mean. But guys, you need Bitcoin in your portfolio, right? We know the dominance for Bitcoin is obviously up there. It's at 50%. We know that, right? So that's obviously amazing. So you're going to need some Bitcoin, right? It literally changes everything, and it's in charge of everything, right? If Bitcoin is pumping, everything pumps. If Bitcoin is dumping, everything dumps as well. But that's majority of the time. Sometimes altcoins, they do their own thing majority of the time, right? But sometimes, guys, when Bitcoin pumps, everything else follows and pumps with Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin is the main guy here, okay, and it just controls everything pretty much majority of the time, not all the time, but that's that. So you're gonna need some Bitcoin in your portfolio. Now the Bitcoin monthly returns, it's been a couple of days since I gave you guys an update on this. So to end this video off, I'm gonna quickly give you guys an update, but not much of a huge update for this, but you guys clearly see for this month so far we're only up 0.46%. But I do think this is going to change. Like I mentioned, last year we had a 16% return, 2021 we had an 18% return, and 2020 we had a 24% return. So yeah, you guys can clearly see throughout the years, even in 2018, right, we had our 20% return, 2017 17.9% return. So this month in July, July usually Bitcoin does perform pretty well. So I'm expecting for this year as well, right, for Bitcoin to perform pretty well. And that's why I really do believe in the next upcoming few months, we could potentially see Bitcoin, right, bounce back up to $31,000 and of course reach a new high for this year in 2023, which is around 32K. And that's why I have this line right here for this target. So very possible. And of course, $35,000 is very possible. And of course, 40 and of course, 50, right, $1,000, which is all the way up there. But we're going to start small here. So yes, 32K. Hopefully that's possible. 33, 34, 35 is possible for this month in July. But time will tell, we will see. So Bitcoin is still holding up very well, guys. Okay, today. So that's absolutely amazing to see. Of course, I will in fact keep you guys more updated. Okay, I'll keep you guys posted and updated on the Bitcoin monthly returns because I feel like it's very, very important. But guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Give a thumbs up, subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below, right? What are your personal thoughts right now for Bitcoin? Do you guys think the bear market is over? Okay, personally, I think yes, it's over. Okay, even though yes, we are still in a bear market in my opinion, but it's over completely in my opinion, right? But it's not officially over just yet. Okay, Bitcoin is obviously nowhere near its previous highs, so I think we are still in a bear market, but we are in fact in the early stages of the next bull market, 100%. So the bear market is almost over, guys. Okay, so if you survived 2022, congrats. Okay, because you can literally survive anything. Because I really do believe, in 2022 that was the worst year for Bitcoin and just crypto in general. It was literally one of the worst years ever. Right, one of the worst bear markets ever, in my opinion. So it's looking pretty good right now. It's looking more bright for Bitcoin and crypto. More of these institutions are in fact coming in for Bitcoin and crypto, right? Just in general. So, the future for Bitcoin and crypto is looking pretty bright. So that's amazing to see. But guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this one. Give a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys all in my next video. Have a blessed day, guys.